With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. Congratulations are in order to Nebraska Cross Country's Alea Hardy for winning the Big Ten Women's Cross Country Athlete of the Week. The conference announced this afternoon Hardy placed first in the Greeno-Dirksen Invite 5K with a time of 16:57.9 to win her second straight meet to begin her Husker career. And further congratulations are in order to Nebraska women's golf as they won the Badger Invite title in Verona, Wisconsin yesterday. The Huskers rallied in the final round to erase a 4-stroke deficit to win the Invite by 11 strokes in the final team standings. Freshman Kellyanne Strand helped lead the way again for the Huskers, finishing fourth in the individual standings, scoring a 67 in her final round, good for 5 under par, to launch herself from 20th to 4th on the individual leaderboard and help power the Huskers rally for the win. Huskers sophomore Miu Takahashi also landed in the top 10, finishing 8th with a 3-round score of 215, 1 under par. In pro sports tonight, a lot of baseball games going on as we look across the MLB. It is scoreless between the Red Sox and Reds. That one's in the top of the second. The Cubs and Marlins likewise are scoreless. That's in the bottom of the second. Also scoreless, Blue Jays and Phillies. They just got done with the first, and another scoreless game. Tigers and Orioles, that's just underway. And in a few minutes, we'll see the Pirates take on the Yankees. They had a thriller last night, looking to see if there's more fireworks in the Bronx tonight. Later tonight, we'll see the Angels meet the Rangers. That's at 7:05, 7:10. It's the Guardians taking on the White Sox. At 7:10 as well, we'll see the Twins battle the Royals. At 7:40, the Giants meet the Rockies. And at 8:40, it'll be the Mariners battling the A's in Oakland. And at 8:40, the Cardinals battle the Padres in San Diego. Finally, 9:10 p.m., the Diamondback and Dodgers are set to do battle in L.A. Two finals from earlier today. The Nationals topped the Braves, key NL East game there. And that's a 3-2 score. Nationals took that one. And the Brewers blanked the Mets 6-0 in their contest earlier today. And in basketball news, Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver announced he has started the process of selling both teams. The announcement comes shortly after the NBA assessed a 1-year suspension and $10 million fine to Sarver, along with lots of league outcry in both leagues, in the WNBA and the NBA, after the NBA investigation into allegations that Sarver created a hostile work environment resulted in the fine and suspension. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing the big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Good pass by Kubik, outside set. Whitney launch team, kaboom! You can only try to slow her down. You can't stop Whitney. Boy, she's gravity's worst enemy.
Give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside. 40, 35, 30. Foot race now. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Now outside Mississippi. Blocked. Kaylin Hoare. Whitney Lonstein. That's a combined 13 feet of humanity. We're tied at 19 in Lincoln.
Snap back to Casey. Throws downfield looking for Trey Palmer. He goes up, and did he hang on at the 37-yard line? He did. What a grab by Trey Palmer.
Beautiful pass, back set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom! 19-18, Big Red.
Chancellor Brewington in the game. The block, they fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska. Going to roll out, flip to Chancellor Brewington, and he scores. It's his second career Husker touchdown.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are. It's a hump day on Sports Nightly. So glad you're with us here for the next couple of hours. Yep, you've got us for 2 hours. There's no John Cook, John Bader to come in and save the night. It's just us.
We've had a lot of shows this week.
We have.
Compared to normal,
We
and
have.
no volleyball during the week until Friday. So we've been with you guys quite a bit this week.
And they're really happy to see us here tonight. So it is Wednesday. There is college football this weekend, even though the Huskers have the weekend off. We're going to take a spin around the league. Conference play gets going, and there's some really good matchups. We're going to check in on what Maryland's at Michigan. We've got Wisconsin at Ohio State. And the game that I think I'm most interested in, Minnesota going to Michigan State. I think the Gophers are the favorite to win the West. I think that they're off to a good start, and they're mashing people right now. I think they look the best of the teams in the West.
And Michigan State didn't look great last week. And so, as much as we didn't really know what they had because they hadn't really played anybody, the first time they played somebody, they didn't go up there and perform. So, but at home gives them a little bit of an advantage. And so, it'll be interesting.
So we'll check in with our contributors about those 3 games coming up in the Blitz a little bit later on the hour. And we're going to do our picks tomorrow night. We have a very short show Friday, and I don't want to skimp Andrew's fun little comments on the pick, so we're going to do it Thursday night, not Friday. Friday we only have about a 15-minute show because we do have Husker Volleyball as they take on Michigan State as they start conference play on Friday night. So picks tomorrow night coming your way. The Big Ten Blitz here tonight. We'll also hear from Jazz Shelley as she is getting ready for her second season as a Cornhusker. The women's schedule is now complete. If you want to go to Huskers.com, you can see the entire schedule. Game times, for the most part, they might be missing 1 or 2, but for the most part, all the game times have been plugged in there. TV appearances have been plugged in there. So if you want to start, if you're a season ticket holder for women's basketball, you can plot all of that out. You can put it in your calendars and all that. And the men's schedule is going to drop tomorrow for the conference game. So you can get all those times locked into your calendar on your iPhones and put it in so you don't miss a tip-off.
But Greg, how about this announcement today that the Big Ten women's games, they'll put 4 games on Fox for the first time ever, on Big Fox. So that is awesome. And Nebraska is one of those when they go to Iowa January 28th. And then Iowa at Michigan, Indiana at Purdue, Ohio State at Michigan. But first time ever on Fox.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that.
Too.
And I hope, too, that opens the door for volleyball to be on Big Fox, too. And so huge opportunities, again, as this thing continues to unfold with the new TV deal with Fox. They're going to keep putting those women's basketball games, the women's sports on Fox. And so I think it's so big. And Megan Kahn has done such a good job for the Big Ten Conference coming in and being a voice for them. And she told me last year when I went to the Big Ten tournament asking about, a lot of the women's games are behind the streaming wall.
Right.
And she said that's conversations that we're having right now to get more women's games on actual television. And so kudos to them. And then also, I was also told today that the sellout game that we're talking about for women's basketball has been set for when Nebraska hosts Iowa here.
Yep.
February 18th, I believe, is the date on that. So when
11 a.m. tip.
Yes. So, and that's, again, I think that's on Big Ten Network as well. That's another nationally televised game. So, circle that. We've been talking about selling out Pinnacle Bank Arena now for a while. That's the game. They've said it, and it's going to be a big one, Iowa here.
Sure will be. So that dropped today. Again, the men's tomorrow. You mentioned the streaming service, and I know people may not want to hear this, but athletic events on streams is going to increase, not decrease.
Yes.
And with what the NFL did last week with Amazon Prime for the Thursday night games, I know that bothered a lot of people. They were all looking for the Chiefs game with the Chargers. The Big Ten, the new TV deal that you alluded to, Peacock is going to do some streaming of some things. And I think, with the expansion of adding UCLA and USC, and maybe there's more coming, I think you're maybe seeing more and more streaming services pick up college sports.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're going.
It is.
It's where it's going. But I think the argument is, I guess, is probably isn't so much that it's on streaming. It's the kind of the production quality of having
Correct.
Some students, which is great to have some opportunities, but when you hear your players' names pronounced wrong and that kind of stuff, some of the production quality, I think that's where it should improve, because the Amazon Prime, I thought, was good. My stream never cut out.
Me neither. People were going crazy about that. I had no issue with it.
Yeah, so I thought it looked great, and it'll continue to be a work in progress. But I think probably more so the quality of those Big Ten Plus streams is where we need to see some improvement there, which I think there will be. I think that they will focus on that, and that if you're going to put these women's teams on that platform, then it needs to be top notch.
But back to your original point, yes, because of the new TV deal and Fox is getting to be a bigger and bigger partner in the Big Ten, they're going to do some more things. CBS is going to have a basketball package as well. I don't know about NBC, and I think they're going to maybe put on their Peacock maybe some of the Olympic sports on their Peacock streaming channel moving forward. But that's exciting for the future. Now, that new TV deal doesn't start for a year, so this year it's what it's been, and that's primarily BTN, Fox, and FS1 has some action as well.
What
And
is
ESPN
cool?
football.
What is cool about the streaming deal, though, is if you don't have DVR, you can't always go back and watch those unless
Right.
you go on YouTube. But with the streaming services, it's all archived, so you can easily go back. Like I went
Watch
back
a game
and
the next day.
yeah, I went back and watched some of the Nebraska-Kentucky volleyball game on the ESPN Plus platform. So because I had missed some of it on TV, so I wanted to go back and watch. And so that's what's kind of nice about those streaming services. If you don't have DVR on TV, you might miss some of it, but you can always easily go back and pull those things up on all of those platforms.
And if you're at a match or a game or something and want to go back and watch it, it's there.
Yeah.
You can go back the other day and go, I want to see that play again or that dunk again or whatever it might be. You can go back and watch that. So that's one of the good advantages of that moving forward. Well, we will not have a football show this week with the off week. The team did practice today. The Husker football account did tweet out a little snippet of video from the practice session that they had this morning out there. Hard at work. Mickey Joseph said it yesterday. It's Nebraska versus Nebraska this week. It's a self-analysis. It's try to get better. Don't worry about an opponent for the next several practice sessions. Get this own team better and hope that they can fix some things going into the last 8 games.
Yeah, and obviously some things that need to be fixed on the field, but I think also just mentally, this team
Yeah.
needed a breather, needed to not have a game, needed to work through some things. And, I think Mickey Joseph, obviously everybody's bought into that energy and that belief. And, this team needed to pick me up. And so hopefully they're getting that this week.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I was kidding earlier about no John Cook, no John Bader. I was encouraged last night hearing Coach Cook say he didn't think the Nicklin Hames injury was long-term. She just needs some rest. And as we've all said, you don't want to be playing your best in September. You want to be playing your best in December. Get her healthy because we need her if this team's going to make a big run.
Absolutely. And just with this time, it's allowing Kennedy Orr to
Sure.
really have some opportunities. And she played we heard JB was talking to us about she probably played her best game of the season at Kentucky. And so continuing to get her some confidence and working in with this team. And I think just getting some rhythm with all of the hitters, it's so different. I mean, I was fascinated having that conversation with Nicklin Hames when I first got here last summer, because I didn't know a lot about volleyball. I got to be honest with you until I got here and started really diving into it. And, she was talking about how, just developing that chemistry, and every hitter's different and the setters are different. And so just it's a work in progress. And when you're switching setters in and out. And so, she's talking about the work that they have to do in the off season. It's kind of like a quarterback throwing to a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
And so, I think this will be good for this team moving forward is just getting Kennedy in there and getting some familiarity with everybody playing together on the court.
A precious phone call last night. I wish maybe you guys could find it. We could play it back. I think it was a gal from Omaha that said, Coach, you're a national championship coach and I'm just an average fan. But I think our best chance to win a national title is if you just let Kennedy Orr be the setter and get away from the two-setter thing. Oh, isn't that great? I just love that. That's fantastic. Jamie had some fun with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, kind of like she said, I know he's a national championship coach. He'll get it figured out. I think he's just trying to figure out what works. And I think, and having different looks that you could throw at teams depending on the matchup is good moving forward, too.
Yeah, it was a precious call. If we can find that, I'd love to play that for the shows over tonight because it was just precious. You're like, that sweet gal questioning the national champion. And he was great. John handles those kind of things really well. And he loves our fans, so that's all about that. And JB, right out of the gate, asked him about his comments about being a defensive coordinator.
Yes, I heard
How about that?
Yes, one of the first shows I did, I was asking. He was a quarterback too,
Yeah.
So has an extensive football background. But yeah, when I've done the shows a couple of times, it's fun seeing him because in the commercial break we'll have some text roll in. And he'll like, oh yeah, I like that one. That's a good question.
Ask me that one.
Yeah, and so he likes when fans call in and text in, and so. And he always brags on the knowledge of this fan base and, how much they understand their volleyball. So he likes it.
2 home matches this weekend. Michigan State Friday night, Ohio State Saturday night, both 7 o'clock. Talking about streaming services, the Friday match is on BTN+. They are on Nebraska Public Media for the match on Saturday night. But, hey, you got it right here on HRN with JB and Lauren Cook West. We are inside the Acres Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. If you want to be a part of the program tonight with a call or a text, that's certainly fine. We'd love to hear from you. 402-413-2400. Again, it doubles up as both our phone line and our text line, so if you want to activate that, you certainly can do that. When we come back, we will get into the Blitz, talk about those games coming up this weekend in the league.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
Coody, good pass. Jack back right side. That's a Shawnee Teeler. Big block. Lindsey Krause, Pekka Alec. It's a block, Mardi Gras. 23-12 Nebraska.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we make our college football picks of the week before Nebraska Volleyball takes over at 6:30 p.m. with their matchup against Michigan State. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers. More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Every day, Central Valley Ag supplies ranchers with calf starter to prompt maximum absorption of nutrients, so calves transition in days, not weeks. Let CVA help you formulate the right plan to ensure weaning success in your herd. Register to win 40 bags of CVA Impact Starter with Amafirm when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Wednesday night, off week for the Huskers, but not an off week in the Big Ten. Some pretty good matchups. Time for us to take a little trip around the league. We call it the Blitz.
Big Ten Blitz. Maryland.
And here to talk about Maryland is Scott Green. He's the publisher of Terrapin Sports. Maryland off to a 3-0 start. What a terrific game last week. They beat SMU 34-27. Scott, give me kind of the early report, the 3 games into this. Your thoughts about what Maryland has looked like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously three pretty good wins. Beat Charlotte pretty handily. Looked good, especially in the second half there against SMU. The offense has looked good at times. The defense has looked good at times. The biggest takeaway I've got, other than being 3-0, which is the most important thing, is kind of the penalties. They're basically one of the most penalized teams in the country right now. And while they've been able to get away with that in these first 3 games, as the slate gets tougher as we go into Big Ten play here, that's going to play a big factor, I think.
Offensively, they just have so many weapons. They can hurt you so many different ways, and we saw that really in all 3 games. But you're right. You're going to face better defenses starting this week with the Michigan game. Size this matchup up for us. Obviously, Michigan's 3-0 as well. They haven't played anybody any good at all. I don't know that we really know how good Michigan is. Your thoughts about this matchup coming up Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because I look at both these teams. Obviously, I think SMU is a pretty decent opponent, but other than that, neither of these teams have really faced too much, adversity. So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams handle it. I think Maryland's offense is talented enough. I think they'll be able to put up some points. I don't think that will be an issue. I think the question is going to be Maryland's front seven's ability to stop the Michigan rushing attack. You look at Blake Corum and what he's able to do, and just their big offensive line and how Harbaugh likes to run more of a pro-style offense. And I think that's going to be the key to the game.
I'm sure Coach Loxley would not like this, but wouldn't there be kind of a moral victory if they're still in this thing in the fourth quarter? Wouldn't that almost be like a step in the right direction for the program?
Yeah, yesterday in talking about it, he said that he likened this game to grandma's mac and cheese, and that it doesn't matter if you're eating it on Christmas or Thanksgiving or just any old regular Sunday, it's always going to taste the same. So he wants them to take an approach where, they're not going to get too high, not going to get too low. And I agree with you. Obviously, they want to win the game. But I think the key for Maryland coming into this one, and obviously you want to get that upset win. That would be absolutely huge for this program. But I think you're right. I think the key is to keep it close. not get blown out. You know, these are games where typically in the last few years they've lost big, and they just need to keep it close, gain that confidence, and kind of go from there.
How have they gone through the first 3 games injury-wise? Have they stayed fairly clean in that category?
Yeah, there was one freak injury. Tarheeb Still, one of the starting corners, apparently sliced a tendon in one of his fingers in the locker room after practice one day. Missed one game, but he's back. He's expected to play against Michigan. Other than that, yeah, for the most part, they've stayed relatively healthy. No big injuries, I don't think, coming into this one. So, yeah, health-wise, they're doing good.
Very good. Battle of 3-0, Saturday, big noon kickoff, so that's 11 o'clock Central on Big Fox. Scott Green, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Big Ten Blitz, Wisconsin.
Here to talk about the Badgers, Ben Worrell. You can follow him on Twitter at the Badger Nation. Wisconsin got healthy last week, blasting New Mexico State 66-7. Nice bounce back, wasn't it, Ben, for the Badgers after the trip up the week before?
I think it was frustrating for a lot of fans to see that this team did not play particularly well against Washington State, especially when you're favored at home. And a lot of things that you thought were corrected coming out of camp kind of exposed their ugly truths to a degree. And certainly when you play a team that was as overmatched as New Mexico State was, you're expecting a good result, and that's exactly what Wisconsin did. I don't think you learn a lot from the tape. I don't think a lot of the mistakes that happened against Washington State were corrected, but it certainly feels good to see a team dominate an opponent the way that they should. And I think that's encouraging for Wisconsin, just to kind of run through a lot of people, see some efficiency on offense, see some good performances on defense, and more importantly, not suffer any major injuries or problems heading into this very big game here on Saturday.
Ben, what were the 1 or 2 things that caused the loss a couple of weeks ago?
Washington State took advantage on the edges against Wisconsin's offensive line, caused a lot of penalties. Penalties were over 100 yards against Wisconsin. Edge rushers really took advantage of those situations. Offensively, just weren't able to establish a running game. I thought Graham Mertz has played particularly well through 3 games this year, but it was just the running game. It was just a lack of explosiveness that we saw in the opener against Illinois State and against New Mexico State. And, you to expect that to a degree, Washington State is a better program than those two. So the fact that Wisconsin just wasn't able to really get out of its own way. There was issues on special teams. There was a lot of things that went wrong in that game, and Wisconsin just did not look prepared, or I shouldn't say that. They did not execute up to the level of standard that they expect out of themselves, and Washington State was a hungrier team and a better team, and they won.
All right, this week is a trip to the Horseshoe. These 2 teams haven't played since the Big Ten Championship game in 2019, so it's been a little bit of time between games. What are some keys in your eyes for Wisconsin in this one Saturday night?
They have to play probably their best football game in 3 years, to be honest with you. I mean, Wisconsin has kind of been on a rut here the last couple of years. The COVID year they didn't play particularly well. Last year they didn't play well in big games, and certainly this year you stub your toe against Washington State. And this Ohio State team, I think you can score on this team defensively. To me, they're really good on both sides of the ball, but they're phenomenal offensively. They're first nationally in yards per game, over 565. C.J. Stroud is second nationally in pass efficiency. I think he's averaging over 310 yards a game with 11 touchdowns and no picks in 85 attempts, so he's not making mistakes. Wisconsin has an interception in 8 straight games, and you need this defense to make plays, to make them one-dimensional, to try to make Stroud work. I don't think he's really worked hard the last 2 games against Arkansas State and I think Toledo they played last week. You need to make him work. You need to try to confuse his vision a little bit. Basically, Wisconsin has to play close to perfect, and Ohio State has to be off their game for Wisconsin to have a chance. I mean, this has been a series that's been dominated by the Buckeyes. You mentioned it. Ohio State's won the last 8, 12 of the last 13. Wisconsin has lost. I don't think they've won in at Columbus since 2005. Somewhere in there, they've lost their last 5 or 6 trips. Now, 6 of the last 8 losses have been by 7 points or less, so Wisconsin hasn't been too far off. But in those games, they make mistakes, and Ohio State's talent and athleticism takes over. So Wisconsin has to play a clean game from start to finish to have a chance to win. Ben,
you mentioned, I think you're right. I think you can score on the Buckeyes. You also want to run clock, don't you? You want to try to shorten the game and limit the number of possessions?
Yeah, you got to keep their offense off the field, certainly.
Yeah.
You have to keep Stroud on the sidelines. And you're right. I mean, Ohio State is 21st in total defense, 24th in rushing, and 42nd against the pass. So, I mean, they're good. They're not great, I don't think, by Ohio State standards yet. And so you're going to need that offensive line that, like I said, got gashed against Washington State to set the edges, open up some holes for Braylon Allen. You're going to need to have the short passing game. Don't always go for the home run pass. I mean, and be content with those 7-8 minute drives. And you need to be efficient on third down. Wisconsin was one of the worst third down teams in the country last year at just 33.7%. They're better this year at 46.7%. I think that's 7th in the Big Ten. Not great, but certainly many percentage points better, 13, than they were last year. You need to be able to convert on those important downs. You need to be able to move the chains. And you're right, you need to kind of play keep away, because C.J. Stroud's not going to hurt you when he's standing on the sidelines.
Badgers at the Buckeyes, Saturday night, 6:30 Central on ABC. Ben Wergel, who, again, you can follow on Twitter at the Badger Nation. Ben, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me back, guys. Take care.
Big Ten Blitz, Minnesota.
Here to talk about Minnesota football, Andy Greeter of the St. Paul Pioneer Press. The Gophers have steamrolled their first 3 opponents of the year, now get ready to go on the road to take on Michigan State. Andy, is the team any different than you thought maybe a month ago they would be, or has it been basically what you expected to see out of them the first 3 games?
I think it's been maybe pretty much as expected. Obviously, the biggest news involving the Gophers is losing Chris Altman-Bell, their number 1 wide receiver, for the rest of the year to a leg injury. He was their number 1 target. He was their alpha. He was their go-to guy. Led them in targets, receptions, yards, touchdowns, and his loss in the first half of that Colorado game is going to have reverberations for the rest of the year. So, they dominated non-conference play, but losing a key skill position player like they did last year with Mo Ibrahim is really going to be a difficult thing for them to overcome.
Getting Mo back has certainly been huge this year. How's the offensive line performed in your eyes? They had to replace a handful of starters up front.
Yeah. They had to replace 4 out of their 5 offensive linemen. They got Remington Award candidate John Michael Smith back, but both centers, both guards, both tackles are back, and they've been good against lesser opponents. And Mo has certainly reaped the rewards of that. I think he's got something like 7 touchdowns in 3 games, and he might even look better after his Achilles injury. He's running hard, he's running fast, he looks decisive in his cuts, and again, against lesser competition, he's certainly shining.
All right, Andy, let's fast forward to Saturday. Michigan State's on the schedule. It's been a while since these 2 teams have played. They're going to have to introduce themselves to each other for this game. Size this one up for us. What do you expect on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see how the Gophers approach this, because Michigan State is certainly a step up in competition, and they've been pretty good against the run and very suspect against the pass defensively this year. And that's where the Gophers, like we talked about, are in transition with Chris Altman-Bell out. So how much do they run versus pass? They're running the ball 70% of the time, but given Michigan State's success against the run and weakness against the pass, will we see more balance, and who are those playmakers that are likely to step up or possible to step up? Are they able to do so?
Starting to be a bit of a drumbeat, Andy, for the Gophers maybe being the favorites in the West with some of the stumbles around the division to this point in time. Has that talk reached the Twin Cities, and how is Coach Fleck handling that? Yeah,
I mean, I think that it's out there. I think everybody is kind of keeping it at arm's length, just given the fact of who they've played. I think if they were to go to East Lansing and beat a Michigan State team that was ranked as recently as last week, I really think that would be part of the catalyst to try to see their name get mentioned a little bit more locally as a contender for the West. And they've got Purdue after that for homecoming. So if they're able to start Big Ten play with a couple of wins, then I think there'd be a lot more believers and a lot more attention in the Twin Cities.
Sure would put them in the driver's seat. Should be good. Minnesota on the road at Michigan State Saturday, 2:30 Central Time on BTN. Andy Greeter of the Pioneer Press. Andy, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks. Take care.
Big Ten Blitz,
Andy and all of our contributors joined us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. All right, phone lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. Jessica will rejoin me next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Can you name one thing that's more exciting than football in Nebraska? Okay, maybe not, but there's something that comes close. Scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery. That's right. Choose from a variety of play styles with huge top prizes. There's something fun for everyone. So, when football isn't on, pick up some scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in the Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeToe Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DeToeSubaru.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Every day, Central Valley Ag supplies ranchers with calf starter to prompt maximum absorption of nutrients, so calves transition in days, not weeks. Let CVA help you formulate the right plan to ensure weaning success in your herd. Register to win 40 bags of CVA Impact Starter with Amafirm when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hey, visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 4th and get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November 19th. Plus, that'll include a pregame tailgate party. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you could be a winner this season. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Wednesday night, 402-413-2400. If you want to dot us up with a comment or question or fire off a text, let's go to the phones down to Beatrice. Dennis, you're up next. Good evening.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
Hey, I got kind of two questions. My first question is, when we're on the offense and Casey's out there, how come we don't have, well, of course he's going to be out there most of the time, but I'm just saying, how come we don't have two running backs out there? Not all the time, but more than what we should. And then the second part is, when Casey's the quarterback and he's by himself out there, why can't he run when he's supposed to more often than he should?
No, that's a fair question. I thought Casey ran it a little bit more 2 games ago, but then I think he was getting rocked against Oklahoma. And we do at times line up an H-back or a second back off to the side. They'll wheel him through and then run him out in motion. But those are great questions, and maybe you'll see some tweaks of that type of thing as we move forward.
I think Casey was dinged up against
too.
Oklahoma, so I think that's why he didn't run as much, because we did see him utilize that a lot more the week before. And I think a lot of times it's because they've got multiple tight ends on the field as opposed to having 2 running backs. With the way the offensive line is kind of working through some things those first few games, a lot of times Chancellor Brewington and Travis Vokalek were on the field together, and then you have those wideouts out there. So to me, I think instead of having 2 running backs, they're opting to go with 2 tight ends.
Right. And Dennis, to kind of just further what you were saying, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Casey under center. I know they worked on that a lot in spring, quarterback under center, and maybe an H-back with a running back behind him, but we haven't really seen that formation all fall. But it's probably been 99% of the time out of the shotgun.
Yeah. Did he one time, was it against Northwestern?
He went under center.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, more than 99% of the time. Let's go up to Omaha next. Mike, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Hey, I guarantee you, things are going to get better. Now, in fairness, my credibility has never been all that good. I got to tell you, though, I'm really curious what you guys think about Brett Venables. Now, Greg, you've been around forever. You're a Kansas State guy. He's from Kansas State. Jessica, you're an Oklahoma girl. I'm kind of feeling like, and I sat next to an Oklahoma fan at the game, very angry at Lincoln Riley, and angry at Stoops for letting Venable get away. And he said with some credibility that Oklahoma might have won a few national championships with Venable running the defense. So what do you think of Venable?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy the way that Brent Venables was welcomed back by Oklahoma fans, because he was kind of a little bit run out of town a little bit, and Bob Stoops had brought on his brother Mike, and then it wasn't working out, and so Brent goes to Clemson and obviously does really well. But yeah, I think a lot of those former players love Brent Venables, and so. But I don't think it was working so much with Mike and Brent at the time being co-defensive coordinators, and so. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a split group a little bit as far as that goes with Brent Venables and Mike Stoops, and if he stays on, do they win? I don't know. I mean, that's a conversation that is kind of divided, I think, Sooner fans a little bit over the years.
Mike, appreciate your optimism. I hope you're right. I think things are going to get better. We have to be optimistic as fans that things are going to turn for this program, and in a lot of ways. So hopefully that's true. With Brent, Adam Rittenberg from ESPN.com was on the other night, and I asked him about Lincoln Riley and USC, and he said, Greg, I think we may look back at a couple of years and go, this move helped both USC and Oklahoma. They both got better. Lincoln's going to be a great fit, going to recruit really well out in Southern California, and Brent's a perfect fit in Norman. So I think both programs are probably going to be elevated by the guys that they have.
Well, and Lincoln leaving lit a fire under the fan base, lit a fire under the staff, and there were some changes that I know for a fact Lincoln was trying to make before they head to the SEC, and so I think with again just a fresh guy coming in and knowing what it's going to take to go compete there. I think some of the changes that needed to be made, I think I heard that the donations are higher than they've ever been there. So I think it just lit a fire that maybe a little complacency with Lincoln Riley, but then you go out to USC, and we had Matt Leinart on the show on Friday, and he loves that staff. And so I think, for both programs, it ended up being a positive. It is pretty crazy seeing how mad OU fans still are at Lincoln Riley, being that I think they, in the end, could potentially very well be better for it.
Right. I think Brent will make them forget Lincoln in a hurry. Our callers are dialing us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. John and Lincoln, Tim and Stuart, hang on. Back to take your calls next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too. And we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Wednesday night here on Sports Nightly. To the phones we go. John and Lincoln, you're up next.
Greg and Jessica, hey, it finally feels like fall tonight, huh?
You bet.
It really does.
About time. Hey, I have a couple things. One, I really appreciate Mickey Joseph and how he's going about his work right now. It's a tough situation, but I appreciate his passion and what he's trying to do. And I really hope that people just get out of the way, support the team, and let Trev find us whatever coach he decides to hire and then supports that. I see a lot of things online about people kind of getting into a silo of their person. They want their guy or bust, and I think that's kind of toxic. So hopefully they'll let Trev do his thing, and I'll support whoever he hires. It's going to be good.
John, very good. It's going to be a long search. I think even Trev Alberts has said that. It's going to be a long couple of months. We're going to hear so many things in the next 2 months.
Yeah, I understand why people want to speculate and have fun speculating and want to talk about who they think would be good. But for me, I just am not really into that right now because we don't know. We don't know how things are going to unfold, and I know Trev wants to do his due diligence and talk to a lot of people and give it time and make sure that he's bringing in the right guy. So there's just no need to rush it and just make somebody work right now because we want to know who it is.
Right.
You know, you got to make sure that you got the right guy coming in, and that just takes time.
I think John's right. Support Mickey, support the current staff, the current players, support these guys for the next 8 games, and then we'll worry about the future when we get to that corner. Let's go to Seward and Tim. Good evening, Tim. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. I don't know if you're really going to want to take my call because it's going to play off the coaching staff, and I'm completely supportive of what we have. I just don't think we have a winning coaching staff in front of us, and that says nothing to Mickey. This isn't what he asked for. I really feel sorry for those guys that they came here, and this is the way it's going. Anyway, my question for you is, there's kind of some rumors, speculation of possible coaches from the Big 12, you know, that we might look at one of those guys. I'm not saying that any names in particular. The biggest thing that stands out to me, though, is do you guys honestly think that there's a single coach in the Big 12 that can take his game and transition it into the Big 10 and be successful? Because we watched us walk in the Big 10 thinking we could do it, and we basically became the doormat of the Big 12. Hopefully we'll get away from that, but do you guys honestly think that there's a game plan from a coach that they can transition, or should we maybe look for a coach with a more successful diehard breed like a Utah or like a Stoops? I'm not saying I want those exact guys, but I don't see that Big 12 thing working. What do you guys think? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah talked about that. He was on the team that transitioned, played the last year in the Big 12 and then went to the Big 10. And they had a little bit of success at first, but then, boy, they just weren't built for the Big 10. It took a while to be built for that. So I understand that point as well because it's a different animal going from the Big 12 to the Big 10.
Sure is. Great discussion point. I think there's great coaches in a lot of leagues. I think there's good coaches in the Big 12, so I wouldn't just dismiss them because they coach in that league. Hey, Husker Athletics offering a Big 10 mini plan, $200. Get you a ticket to the 4 Big 10 games remaining. If you have some interest, go visit huskers.com/tickets. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder for the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Can you name one thing that's more exciting than football in Nebraska? Okay, maybe not, but there's something that comes close. Scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery. That's right. Choose from a variety of play styles with huge top prizes. There's something fun for everyone. So, when football isn't on, pick up some scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Husker fans, join us in celebrating excellence in women's athletics. Meet student athletes and alumni from every Nebraska women's program and commemorate the 50th anniversary of Title IX at the More is Possible Rally on Saturday, October 8th at Bolin Stadium. This event will begin at 10:30 a.m. and is free for all ages. Register today at huskers.com/Title IX.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. Congratulations are in order to Nebraska Cross Country's Aaliyah Hardy for winning the Big Ten Women's Cross Country Athlete of the Week. The conference announced this afternoon. Hardy placed first at the Greeno-Dirksen Invite 5K with a time of 16:57.9 to win her second straight meet to begin her Huskers career. And further congratulations are in order to Nebraska women's golf after they won the Badger Invite title in Verona, Wisconsin yesterday. The Huskers rallied in the final round to erase a 4-stroke deficit to win the Invite by 11 strokes in the final team standings. Freshman Kellyanne Strand helped lead the way again for the Huskers, finishing 4th in the individual standings after scoring a 67 in her final round, good for 5 under par, to launch herself from 20-4 on the individual leaderboard and help power the Huskers rally for the win. Huskers sophomore Yu Takahashi also landed in the top 10, finishing 8th with a 3-round score of 215, 1 under par. In pro sports tonight, several games in action for the major leagues. In baseball, it's 4-0 Yankees, another grand slam for the Yankees as they lead the Pirates 4-0 at the end of 3. Top of the 5th, 1-1 between the Reds and the Red Sox in Cincinnati. At the end of the 5th, it's the Marlins with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. 1-0 the Astros lead the Rays in a big AL series there. Again, possible playoff preview. That's in the top of the 6th. Scoreless game now in the 5th between the Blue Jays and Phillies, and it's 3-0 Orioles leading the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th. In a few minutes, we'll see the Angels take on the Rangers, as well the Guardians battling the White Sox, and then the Twins will meet the Royals out in Kansas City. At 7:40, it's the Giants taking on the Rockies. At 8:40, it's the Mariners taking on the A's. The Cardinals visit the Padres at 8:40 as well, and at 9:10, the Dodgers play host to the Diamondbacks. 2 finals from earlier today. In both, some NL East teams in the playoff hunt losing. The Braves losing 3-2 to the Nationals, and the Mets getting blanked by the Brewers. So the Mets hang on to their lead there despite the loss. And in basketball news today, Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver announced he has started the process to sell both teams. The announcement comes shortly after the NBA assessed a 1-year suspension and $10 million fine to Sarver following an investigation into allegations that Sarver created a hostile work environment. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out, looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield, has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Makes a catch. 45 of Northwestern to the 40. Weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Up out of bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7 Nebraska set 2 after winning the first by 2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stop. Match point, big red. Kill it all. Kennedy on. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back with hour number 2 of Sports Nightly here on a Wednesday night. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us here tonight. 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the show with a call or a text. Going to get to David in Omaha in just a second. Tim mentioned this in the ticker, Jessica. I am excited about the Husker women's golf program and this freshman from Idaho, Kellyanne Strand. They go up and they win the Badger Invitational, beat a handful of Big Ten teams in the team title. She finished 4th. She won the tournament a week ago. She's from this little itsy-bitsy town in Idaho and playing great golf.
Yeah, and you would think, too, you come out as a freshman, your first one, you have nothing to lose, but then you win it. You could, as a freshman, probably put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yes.
It's obviously a mental game, could potentially be a head case, but then what does she do? She just repeats it and wins it again, back-to-back to start her freshman career, collegiate career. No big deal.
We got to talk to her.
Yes.
I think this is a great story. And
Absolutely.
And Coach Sutherland's doing a wonderful job. Her first full year as our women's golf coach as
You
well.
knew that she was, just talking to her and reading her background, she has been one of the most tenured coaches, and she's been a pro and knows how to develop, and so I had high hopes once she got the job, and I think she's going to do great things with this program.
They just beat a field that included Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Colorado State, Rutgers, Iowa, Indiana. So that's a pretty good field. Handful of Big Ten teams. They win the tournament up in Madison earlier in the week, and Kellyanne Strand's off to a tremendous start in her Husker career. Just a freshman, itty-bitty town again up in Idaho, doing some great things. All right, let's head to the phones. Let's go to Omaha. David, you're going to lead us off this hour. Good evening.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, before I get to my question, I wanted to just say I've been listening for a long time, and I was a big fan of Ben. And so when Jessica came in, I was like, who is this girl replacing Ben, who's kind of a favorite? Jessica, I got to say, I love your voice, girl, and I think you're awesome. I really come to enjoy listening to you, both of you guys. So I just wanted to let you know, and curious, where are you from in Oklahoma? Are you a Tulsa girl, or are you a OKC girl?
Well, thanks, David. I appreciate those kind words. I moved around. My parents were school teachers, and so grew up in western Oklahoma, Elk City, graduated from a really small school, 18 people in the graduating class outside of Lawton, Oklahoma.
Okay, wow. Well, I love your voice. I love your takes. You do a great job, so I really enjoy listening to you.
Well, thank you.
And you too, Greg. You're just your voice is not as distinctive as Jessica. So, she's got that. Yeah, I was just like, Jimmy Moore has kind of a little bit of that gravelly voice, and just a gorgeous woman, just like Jessica. So, anyway, it's complimentary. I got a little bit of a crush, so I'm just happy to compliment Jessica. I was just curious. Do you think that I know Logan has fumbled a couple times? I personally, the option is my favorite play of all time when it comes to football. I think it's synonymous with Nebraska. Do you think the fumbles have been kind of one of the reasons, or do you think it's, that Logan's not returned, or has it been more of a Whipple thing? I know he's had some fumble issues, but every time he's in there, he's like gets the first down.
David, you're preaching to the choir there. Appreciate your phone call, because I've been of the mindset all summer.
In the spring, you were saying that.
I want a package every week for Logan to come in and run option football just to mess the defense up. And hey, let's be honest, Scott Frost is the one that knew more of the intricacies of the option game than Mark Whipple does. So will we see it? I don't know. But I'm with you. I would like to see Logan's one of the better athletes on this football team. Guys love him. And I don't think the fumble had anything to do with it. But those two plays we've seen him, he's picked up nice gains on both of them.
Well, and I think, too, just, again, if Casey is, dinged up and can't run like we saw him run, and also with the offensive line having to shuffle some people around, it just makes things really difficult when you have a quarterback that can run and be mobile and get away from some of those guys coming at you. So, I think as long as the offensive line is trying to find which combination works, and I think absolutely you got to rely on that if you can't get something going, offensively.
So time will tell, David. But yeah, I've been on that bandwagon all off season. I think that's a wrinkle you can throw at defenses that they're not going to be prepared to deal with, because they're going to really work on your base offense, which is more wide open, the spread, all those type of things, the RPOs that Mark Whipple has in the offense. I like that part of it too, but I think this could be something that could really throw a wrench into the other team's defensive. One, they're going to have to prepare for it if they see it. So then you make them spend time during the week preparing for that. But it's hard to simulate Logan's speed. And Iowa had a hard time last year when he made that start. Now, they adjusted, and they shut him down in the second half. But he was very effective against the Hawkeyes. So we'll see. Again, I don't know. I do think Scott Frost was more the guy that knew more of the option plays and that type of thing. I don't know that that's as much in the tool bag for Mark Whipple moving forward. But appreciate the phone call. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Logan's really well liked, and Logan's not, to my knowledge, Jessica, he hasn't complained about the fact that he's not played much yet in the first couple of games. I think he's a pretty good team guy. You probably see him more on the sideline. I think he's a good team guy.
He really is, and you said it. I mean, he is really well liked in that locker room. And I hit on this the other night just about the quarterback room as a whole, that it's really cool to see that dynamic between all of them, because they're all talking about what they're seeing, what they could, potentially do to tweak, and they're just constantly having conversations, all of them. So I think, again, and I saw that at practice the few times that I went out too. Just again, whoever would come off, what they're seeing, what could you do, what the guy that's coming out the field, what they've seen out of the defense. And so I think that constant communication has been really neat to see. And I hopefully, again, if it's going to be an piece of the offense that could help in certain situations, absolutely get him out there. When I was at Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield was the starting quarterback, they had a package designed for Kyler Murray. So, right. And that gave some people some fits.
And I'm not a two-quarterback guy. I'm not. And I don't think this would be that case.
No, I
One guy
agree.
would have a specific thing that he comes in and runs, and the other guy's like, I'm still the starter. He knows that. He just is going to get a series off.
Yeah, just, again, if you have a guy that has elite speed like Logan Smothers, and you need something to get going and to move the chains or to, relieve some of the pressure on the offensive line, absolutely utilize that weapon.
One quick take, we did not get a chance to address this the other day. The Husker wrestling schedule came out, and I know we have some folks in the audience who just love Husker wrestling. Mark Manning's done an amazing job. They finished 5th last year in the NCAAs, and I think he believes they're going to be a better dual team this year than they were last year. Their opening match is going to be, it's a duel against North Dakota State on Friday, November the 4th. That's not very far away. In fact, they'll have their opener before our basketball teams have their opening game of the season. They'll open the next week, but November the 4th at the Devaney Center will be their opener. And then in their league slate, Minnesota will be coming to the Devaney Center in January. Northwestern will be here in January. They do go to Iowa. They get Wisconsin at home. That will be a fun duel. That's on January 29th, so it's a Sunday. They haven't set the time yet for that. And then Rutgers and Arizona State will round out the home slate. So a handful of opportunities to see Mark Manning and the Husker wrestling squad this winter on the mats. And again, coming off of a 5th-place finish at the NCAAs, Ridge Levitt is back, a guy that made it to the championship round last year at the NCAA level. And I spoke to Coach Manning a month or so ago, and he told me, he goes, Greg, we're going to be a better dual team than we were last year. And they were pretty good last year in a lot of cases. So I know we have a lot of wrestling fans. There you go. It's out on Huskers.com if you want to go check that schedule out.
I think you have some guys, too, that had some experience last year that are going to be able to, Ridge Levitt, for example, I mean, he's extremely motivated. I think he had some guys that were injured that are going to be coming off some injuries. So, yeah, I can't wait. I enjoy watching wrestling, and I love watching it inside Devaney because it's one of those sports that I think are much better to watch when you're in person.
Agreed. It really is. You have to be there. It doesn't come off quite as well on TV as some other sports. Not that it's bad, but I think you just have to kind of be there and feel all that excitement in the Devaney Center. Doug in Norfolk said, hey, guys, remember Mickey, quarterback, played under Osborne, ran the option. He should know some option ability, so maybe look for some of that in the future. We'll see.
Yeah.
Come on, Doug. Everybody's reading my mind. They just need to listen to me more.
I mean, you have. I'll give you credit. You have been calling for that back to the spring. Before we had been told that it's Casey's job, but that it was a battle. But you had been saying that, like, no matter who wins it, do something for Logan Smothers.
Give him. He's so fast.
He really is. Yeah.
He has a chance to go all the way every time I think he touches the football. Our Sports Signing Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, when we come back, Jazz Shelley, what a great year she had last year, the transfer from Oregon on Amy Williams' basketball squad, a team that made it to the NCAA tournament. She's getting ready for her second year. Jessica recently sat down with her. We'll have that conversation next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Thompson gets the shotgun snap, takes a shot toward the end zone. Palmer's there. He's got it. Touchdown, Nebraska. Trey Palmer's first score as a Cornhusker, 6-0 NU.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll talk to Nebraska Associate Athletic Director Chris Anderson to discuss her storied career and impact on Huskers athletics. Then we'll make our college football picks of the week. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agents Paul Hoos or Joni Rodaball in Grand Island, or an Ord Sea agent Matt Woodward.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and recently had a chance to sit down with Nebraska women's basketball guard Jazz Shelley to catch up on her summer and what has been going on with this Nebraska basketball team heading into season. Preseason will be here it's right around the corner. Be here before you know it. So here is my sit down with Jazz Shelley. So you've had a busy summer, first of all, before we get to the team and anything like that, and had a lot going on. Did you enjoy the summer?
Yeah, it was nice. I finally got to go home and see my family and my brothers and sisters and everyone, so it was really nice to actually get back on home soil again.
Because you hadn't been home in how long?
2 years.
Wow. Wow. Well, you had a really neat opportunity. You're one of just 15 student athletes chosen to participate in the NBA Student Athlete Summit. It was the first one that they did, and it was during NBA Summer League in Vegas. So tell us about that. First of all, how did you even get the call, the opportunity, how it even started from the beginning?
Yeah, it all came as kind of a surprise. Obviously it hasn't been run before, so I didn't know anything about it. Coach Williams got an email about it saying, is there anyone that you think would be interested? So she called me up and said, is this something you'd like to do? I don't know if you'll get it, but I'm just going to nominate you if that's something you want to do. And so she nominated me, and then I got an email to say that I got selected to go to the NBA Summer League for this networking summit. And it was kind of like a life-changing experience because I've never seen myself in the light of like a professional career. So now to be able to see like what goes on behind the scenes of the people who are playing on the basketball court was actually really cool, and it's kind of opened my eyes to what more I want to do in like the professional field.
What made you interested in going in the first place when Coach Williams asked you?
It was definitely a summit that was based around like leadership as well and like leading teams, and I felt like that's something that I want to strengthen for myself. So to be able to go there, and we found out like the people that were speaking, I was like, this is the perfect people I need to hear from to improve that part of my game as well. So I thought that leadership aspect was best, and I'd never really been to a networking event where I was able to just go and listen to and speak with a bunch of people in like some awesome jobs in the league office and in the NBA.
So what all did you guys do? You talk about the networking, you had panels, right? And you had tours, behind the scenes stuff too. What all did you guys do?
Yeah, so we got to watch some of the Summer League games. We got to speak to some of the coaches of the NBA teams. We got to speak to their general managers. We got to hear from the CEO of the NBA. We just dealt with a bunch of awesome people, and we also got to speak to the ladies in the general office, in the front office, that they're one of a million guys in that industry, which is really cool to hear how powerful they were and how they go about their business, and they're just so professional and they're just hardworking. So it was really cool to hear from them. We also went to a tech expo where I was able to then go and connect with people that worked in like the tech industry, or people, there was just a whole bunch of people in that expo that you were able to communicate with. I found some Nebraska alums in the league office, so that was really cool.
That's awesome. So not only was that a big part of your summer, but also, you know, with being a foreign student athlete, with NIL, name, image, and likeness, with the rules and laws and all of that, you're not able to capitalize on NIL while you're here on U.S. soil, but you are able to do that when you go back home to Australia. So tell us about that and how good that was for you to be able to do that when you went back home too.
Yeah, that was really cool to get a touch of that. I mean, I haven't been able to do anything, so I was able to organize a little bit prior to leaving with like some brands and everything that I was going to work with, but I wanted to keep it still limited because I hadn't been home for so long that I didn't want to be overwhelmed with just dealing with NIL stuff. So I mainly worked with the ones that align more to like my values and stuff. So the main thing I was happy about, I was able to get like my brand, like t-shirt brands and stuff out there. So now I can go to the games and I can see kids with like Jazz Shelley jerseys and stuff, which that was the main thing I wanted to do. And that went really well. So that was really cool to now like walk down the street and sometimes I even see someone wearing my jersey, which is really cool. So that was the best part.
Did you already have the logo?
Yeah, so my brother actually designed it. So he's a
cool.
graphic designer for like his side job. So he was able, I pretty much told him kind of what I was thinking, and then he put it together for Husker, and I said, yep, that's awesome.
That's awesome. What did it mean to you? Because, you know, the support here, the fan support, we've talked a lot about that, but, and even for women's sports is unreal, and they've supported NIL opportunities for student athletes. But for you, when you got to go back home, that Husker fans wanted to support you in that.
Yeah, I think that was super overwhelming. I was surprised at the number of t-shirts and hoodies I was able to sell, and most of them did come from Nebraska, because I think they saw it as more of, we want to support her, not like we want a t-shirt. It was like, it was really cool to see the people that interacted with that and said like, we want to help like these Australian girls that can't profit off NIL. But it was really cool to see how many Nebraska fans actually did invest into that.
We talked with the compliance before, and we had hit on this and the fact that you are not allowed to do that, but he had talked about how when you were going to go over there, that it was immediate. They were figuring out how to make sure that everything was going to work for you. So can you talk about working with the compliance department here and how helpful they have been for you in navigating this?
Oh yeah, they're incredible. Everything that I do, I trust going through Jonathan and Jamie Vaughn, and they're always the ones, they'll never say no first, but they tell me not to do it, and then they make sure they go through every possible person to see if I'm allowed to do these things or not. And they were the one that found that loophole to be like, you can, if you go home, you can go and make money, and they were right on helping me with everything with that. So our compliance office has been incredible with me, and they want internationals to profit off NIL as much as I do, so it's really cool.
You've been vocal, and I know you felt it was important to use your voice. What potentially could happen? Is there any changes that could happen, or is it right now what's in place is probably what's going to be in place for a while?
I think for right now it's probably going to be in place for a while, but I'm hoping that me having like a bigger platform that I can voice to hopefully show how much we are like missing out on, that hopefully in the future they can change it. But it's NIL so new, and it's not actually the NCAA, it's not Nebraska, it's the immigration office, so it's like it's bigger than what people think it is. So I feel like it's going to take a bit of time to change, but there's definitely people behind the scenes trying to find loopholes, trying to find a way we can like fixate the rule, but not sure yet.
So what have you been told could potentially happen? What needs to happen? How do you help with that, I guess?
I think the only thing is like I'm going to capitalize on when I go back home again. That's the main loophole, to try and make money. Right now, I found a loophole that I can still go and do like autographs and signings and stuff, but now my profits that I would make for my service is now I'm going to give them to a charity. And I would love to do that with like, if they're selling Husker Shelley jerseys, I know I can't get the money, but I would love for it to go somewhere else, at least at this point. If I can't receive it, then I would hope the money would go somewhere else.
That's amazing.
That's the only things that I've kind of got in place right now.
So we sat down with you last fall, and Izzy and Ruby, and you hadn't played, but you knew that this was the spot for you. So now that you've been here a year and you got a feel for it, how do you reflect on the last year?
I mean, I think we did really well, and we set out some goals and we achieved them goals. I think we still fell short, and I still think there's more that we can show Husker Nation, and I think that our team's working really hard, and every single person on that team believes that we can show more. But last year was awesome, and it's hard to not reflect on that, but we also want to move forward because we have a really special team again this year.
What about just the, being here in Lincoln, the support, the playing in front of the fans and PBA? Was it what you expected?
No. I had no idea. And then it just kept growing and growing and growing, and the support that people showed me, and even when my family, when my parents and my grandparents came over, the way the Husker Nation treated them, it was unreal, something I never expected.
So I know you don't want to reflect, but when you closed the chapter, when you had your meetings with coaches and you reflected on what you did last year, what were some of the conversations that you had, and you've even with yourself, about where your game needs to improve the most and what you need to do this season?
I think personally for me, coming in as like a newbie last year, I felt like I was a good leader, but I didn't ever want to overstep because I felt like I had to kind of earn the respect first. And so I wasn't as vocal as I possibly could have been. So I think this year, taking on more of that leadership role and being more vocal and really setting the standard and bringing in those new girls or the freshmen coming into sophomore year, like really making sure that they have a leadership role too and trying to bring everyone up, I think that's going to be important going into next year.
What about on the court and that area?
I think we just have to continue to believe in our abilities. I think we need to realize that when we do make the NCAA tournament that we deserve to be there, and there is no reason why we can't go and make a run deep into that tournament. And I think it was a blessing in disguise, maybe losing that first game. Now we have that fire to be like, well, we just watched 4 teams that we've beaten go to the Sweet 16. So I feel like now we've got that, be like, we can do that too. So I think that belief will be really important in the back end of the season for us.
Just what about your personal game? Is there certain areas that you focused on going into this next season?
Yeah, I definitely want to pick it up on the defensive end. I think that I can be a very consistent defender, and last year, I mean, I was in the defensive team, but I think I could have done more for our team to be more of that consistent get after it defender and not ever have lapses. And I also think on the offensive end, I'm trying to be more of a 3-level scorer and not rely on 3-point shot as much, trying to get more in the paint and have more of a score-first mentality, which will open up those passes a little better.
Okay, so what about just this summer? Because we heard last year how competitive it was and how that really set up for you guys opening up on the win streak that you did to start the season. How was the summer compared, I guess, in that regard to what you guys did last year?
Yeah, I think this summer's already different, having not so many new people come in. So, like, I think we're getting through our offenses a lot quicker. We're getting through our defense, trying to get the concepts through to the new girls isn't as difficult as it was for, 6 or 7 newbies last year. So it's kind of, we get to pick up where we left off, and I think it's a super competitive culture already. There's a lot of new pieces that bring great things to our team, so I think it's going to be exciting.
How do you guys approach last year going into the season? Not many people were talking about you, and it took a while for people to really notice what Nebraska women's basketball is doing. Now you're already in somebody's way too early top 25, and people are going to be paying attention to what Nebraska did because of what you guys did last year. So how do you change the approach or manage those expectations of now there are expectations for our program?
Yeah, that's something we've definitely spoken about, and that's why I said I don't want to reflect on last year, because it's what we did was incredible, but it's also we know we still have more to prove and more to show the NCAA. So we pretty much just don't want to get wrapped in the pressure, and we have to believe that we're the underdogs every game. And we have a motto right now, which is like expect more. So we're expecting more every day. We're doing, we finish conditioning, expect more. So we're going to do some abs and med ball slams, and we're doing a bike workout. It's like, no, expect more, 1 more rep. So that's kind of the motto we have going on in our team right now.
That's awesome. Okay, well, expect more. Let's expect more from Husker Nation. They were great last year, but let's expect them. We've already talked about a sellout game, which is we're going to figure out which game that is, and we're going to push it. And, you know, the ticket sales, all of that. But how important is that for Husker Nation to make PBA really an impossible atmosphere for opposing teams?
Yeah, I mean, last year was nearly an impossible atmosphere, but I think we can definitely go further. And I think it is good with that expectation a little bit, because people expect us to be good, and I really think it's really cool to have those fans in there, and we really ride with them, and I think it's really important. That's why we only lost 1 game at home last year, and I think we could have an undefeated season at home this year, and I think we could sell out a crowd.
Thanks again to Jazz Shelley. Always enjoy chatting with her. We got to take a break here on Sports Nightly, but keep it right here. We got much more to come here on the show. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Buick GMC. No matter where you're heading or what tasks need tackling, there's a premium and capable GMC truck that's perfect for you. Make a statement on the job site, out on the town, or wherever life leads you in the powerful and distinctive Sierra 1500, or elevate your driving experience in the adventurous and innovative Canyon. Explore our inventory online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com or visit our indoor showroom today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Coody, good pass. Jack back right side. That's a Shawnee Teeler. Big block. Lindsey Krause, Becca Allen. It's a block, Mardi Gras. 23-12 Nebraska.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we make our college football picks of the week before Nebraska Volleyball takes over at 6:30 p.m. with their matchup against Michigan State. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoegemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Every day, Central Valley Ag supplies ranchers with calf starter to prompt maximum absorption of nutrients so calves transition in days, not weeks. Let CVA help you formulate the right plan to ensure weaning success in your herd. Register to win 40 bags of CVA Impact Starter with Amafirm when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Terry Dingwell in Fremont, Katie Barkman in Columbus, or Janelle Moore in Holdridge.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night, 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. We also stream our show on a nightly basis, and Gavin wants to know when we're going to see Maddie Kroll from Millard South play for the Huskers.
Soon. I had it, I think it's 38 days now. I had the countdown. I kind of forgot now. But opening night is coming up a week from this Friday, which we've talked a lot about. Get those tickets. They're free, but you do have to have a ticket to get in the door. So that'll be the first chance that you can see them play inside PBA. You can watch both the men's and women's scrimmage and introduce the team and stuff. And then October 30th, exhibition.
Be here before you know it.
Yep.
Yeah. I hope Lickback. I hope he plays Lickback. EST, he dropped a new album this week.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You got it on your iPod already?
No, I'll do that tomorrow. That'll be a weekend project of mine. Hey, I referenced this early in the program that I got so tickled with the call that John Cook got last night, kind of questioning what the legendary John Cook is doing with his volleyball team. The guys found it. Let's listen back. This was a call last night on the volleyball show.
Here's Gus in Lincoln. Gus, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Gus.
Hello, Coach. Hey, how you doing?
Great.
So I'm an idiot season ticket holder, and you're a national championship coach, but here I go. I think our best shot at a national championship is a 5-1. Kennedy as our setter and Nicholas as the defensive specialist. What does Kennedy have to do to get us to that place?
Yeah, Gus, I think you're onto something there. Kenny's got to become more consistent, get her serve in, and just build her confidence. And, you see it building every week. We actually chart what our team hits off of each setter in the 6-2, so I know what our team's hitting off Kennedy. I know what our team's hitting off Nicklin. I know what our team's hitting off of Ani. And Kennedy is starting to show that we hit the best off of her. But to run a 5-1, she doesn't get that break right now, so we're building toward that, and that would be a great system for us. Believe me, I've thought a lot about it, and so we'll see where we go. But you're absolutely right.
Gus.
Yeah.
Just coming in there and just saying, here's how I do it.
Gus is probably on the combine.
Oh, look, he's the coach. Callers from Lincoln and Omaha are probably not on combines.
Oh.
I'm just an idiot ticket holder. You're.
But here we go. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to roll with it.
Isn't that great?
Oh, that's awesome.
Love it.
Yes.
I love that stuff. Yeah, and John Cook loves hearing from people that are on the combine. And the folk I know, they're out there right now. We're starting, the harvest is underway.
So we had somebody call in or text in from Texas. I think it was our...
was it Jeremy in Texas?
Yes,
yeah.
That was... I'm assuming you're not cutting cotton yet. Are you planning?
They might be picking cotton right now. It could be. I don't know the cotton growing season as well as I do beans.
But he was doing
corn.
something with cotton, and so Coach Cook thought that was awesome.
Oh, I bet he did.
And so then he had told a story about how he had to take his team one time out in Texas to see cotton and all of that. So
they were playing Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So they were out, and there are cotton fields out near Lubbock. So yeah, that's probably where that happened.
My family grows cotton.
You'll appreciate this. John Cook is a big, and so am I, a big fan of Rudy's.
Rudy's Barbecue.
Yeah. It's in a gas station.
Yes.
Great.
Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
They're all over Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
And there was one in Norman. And there's one in Lubbock. So yeah, and I always, if I'm near one, I'll take a picture and send it to John. He's not happy. He's like, I want that.
I am not a huge barbecue fan, but Rudy's has great breakfast burritos. They really do.
Those. I haven't tried those.
Yeah, they've got good breakfast burritos.
Andrew would be a fan of Rudy's.
Yeah, he would.
You would. It's good.
Yeah.
Have you been to one before? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, they're not this far north. Again, I think maybe Norman might be about the most northern they are. So, Great stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. That was fun. I chuckled when I heard that last night. It's always fun when you kind of get...
I mean, it's kind of funny. Again, I'm still learning all the volleyball and all of that, but how people are pretty passionate about 5'1" versus 6'2", and
Well, as JB will say, that nobody's won the national championship since 2003 running the 6'2".
So JB does not like the 6'2" either.
Nope. Says you won't win the title.
What do you think, Greg?
I think the caller is actually on to something right there. I think that is the way to go, but they got to get there, and Kennedy's got to get there.
Yeah, and she'll have some opportunities now. They will be able to, they won't want to rush Nicklin because you don't want it to linger. You don't want that to be a lingering injury, and so she'll have some opportunities to really get that confidence, that rhythm going, and it'll be good for her.
It's just, and John, I'm not questioning John, but it's just the Creighton match. Hayden Kubik, Maddie's younger sister, was huge in that comeback winner against Creighton. We've hardly seen her play since.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy how deep they are, and you got to wait your turn sometimes.
It's a good problem to have, though.
It's a good problem to have. Husker Athletics is offering a Big Ten mini plan for football. 4 home games left, all conference games: Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. $50 a ticket, $200 for the plan. If you have some interest in that, you can go to huskers.com/tickets. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap it up next.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in a company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, a couple minutes left in the program. Still time if you want to jump on board, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Let's go to Larned, Kansas. Gary, you're up next. Good evening.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about your first broadcast of Husker football. You came in after the big loss to KU in 2005, right?
2007, and my first game was KU. The game in Lawrence where they gave up 76 points.
Okay, because then the week was it the week before or week after that was K-State?
Then it was the week after, so it was KU, then K-State, which the Huskers scored 70, and then they finished the year in Boulder and gave up another 60 to the Buffaloes. Crazy.
Yeah, well, I was at the KU game, so I didn't get to hear your first broadcast, but I heard the broadcast the next week. I just wanted to tell you, you sounded like you'd been doing Husker football for 20 years. It was amazing to hear you know the kids, know the names. I know how hard that is. I do some broadcasting of high school football, but to be on that stage and to be able to do that, I thought was just incredible.
Well, thank you. It sure helped. I knew Matt pretty well, and I had met Adrian a handful of times, and of course it was a three-man booth at that time with Matt and Adrian, and that made it a lot easier, and it was fun. And I had done a couple of pay-per-view games for the Huskers early in the fall, so I knew the team pretty well.
Well, it was a great thing for us to get you, and we're glad you're here.
All right, Gary. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call out there in Central Kansas, down there by Great Bend, Larned, Kansas. Good spot to have there. That was a funky end of the year because it was the end of the Callahan era, and I know watching the defense the last couple weeks has been rough. I think that was rougher. That 07 team just couldn't stop anybody. It was tough.
And I think, hopefully, again, I think they're
Bill Bush, fresh start,
attacking some things this week, and they'll come out. And there's still some good players on this defense, some talented players, and some players that have played a lot of football around here. So they just need to regroup and get some confidence going. And we'll see what different schemes they'll come up with and what personnel they put on the field in certain situations. But I'm not ready to count them out just yet.
There's 8 games left.
Yes.
There's a long ways. And I'm with you. I think we may see some different players start.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, the guys that were out there weren't getting the job done, so try somebody else. If it's broke, try to fix it. If it ain't broke, then you don't fix it. But it's broke right now.
And I loved, and I said this last night, but I loved watching Caleb Tanner and Nick Hendrich and how they were up and down the sideline, and I think that's important. And so I thought there were times that I wanted to see Caleb be a little bit more vocal, and I think he did that last week.
Good.
And I would imagine with Mickey Joseph meeting with him, hey, I need you guys. He said that on the radio show with you about how he met with the leaders and the captains, and they were going to be so important for this to have some hope of doing something positive this year. And so I bet Caleb embraced that challenge from Mickey Joseph about, hey, I got to have you here. And so I was really impressed with how he was still engaged with a lot of players up and down the sideline on last Saturday.
We've had several callers tonight, and I agree. Get behind Mickey, get behind this current group of coaches and players, and support them to the end of the year. The search will take care of itself. Trev will handle that. And I know it's hard to not focus on that as a fan, but there's 8 games left. We have more than 2 months of the season to go.
And again, who knows how that's coaching? To me, it just does no good at this point to even speculate. I mean, I'd much rather talk about other things, but I think this, again, I have faith in some of the leaders on this team, and I think they'll try to get this thing turned around, and hopefully this bye week did them a lot of good.
Yeah. Tomorrow night on the program, we're going to pick it. The revenge tour is well underway.
It's crazy.
I can't believe it. So we'll continue.
He's gotten so lucky. That luck's got to run out at some point.
We'll continue that tomorrow night with picks. Chris Anderson, who is a trailblazer in her own right. She was one of the first female sports information directors for a football program here at Nebraska in the 90s. She was our Title IX recipient last week. We're going to hear her story tomorrow night on the program as well. Buckle up with the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. That's a wrap. We're back again tomorrow night. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Thompson gets the shotgun snap, takes a shot toward the end zone. Palmer's there. He's got it. Touchdown, Nebraska. Trey Palmer's first score as a Cornhusker, 6-0 NU.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll talk to Nebraska Associate Athletic Director Chris Anderson to discuss her storied career and impact on Huskers athletics. Then we'll make our college football picks of the week.